Sanibonani, welcome back to another episode of Hearty Thursdays. Mama Wezizwe, and I am here to fill your hearts with art. In this podcast, we talk about art. We talk to the people that make the art, the people behind the people that make the art, and the people that make the art, but a lot of people don't know that they do. And today we are so excited to have an actor in the house. Our guest, Mdikane, is an actor and a presenter. Welcome to Hearty Thursdays.
Oh yes,
Thank you so much.
I'm happy to be here.
Thank
I'm
you
happy.
for honoring my invitation.
No, I had to. Ngithemba ngizikuthi ukhuluma ngani is like, nah, let's go. Let's go.
Thank you so much. This really means a lot. And I'm so excited. I'm so excited about the conversations we're about to have.
Oh yes.
But first things first, please tell me about you, your background, where you're from.
It's your boy Mdikane uTolo umchengu uhlanga manje mapanekazi, the leader of the pack. I was born and
I
bred.
wish I could.
Ish, yeah, you know what I mean. Yeah, I was born and bred in Eastern Cape, and Mthatha, and then I moved to King Williamstown, and then from King Williamstown, I found the KZN. And then from there, that's when I came to Joburg. But then when I came to Joburg, I was not actually doing anything arts related. Funny enough.
How's your first experience in like the big city, the fast life?
For me, the thing is, I used to visit my brother here.
Okay.
So, it was not like, hey, fascinated, you come on.
Yeah.
But it was one of those things where I'm like, okay, I've always known, but I'm gonna end up at Joburg because I'm just like, ish. And then Cape Town, I just felt like it was not for me, you know. Not that I'm saying Kondo wrong, guys, don't get me wrong. Yeah, but for me, Joburg was that one place that I knew it was gonna feed that itch that I've always had in Sazamling. Yeah, so yeah.
So when you came to Joburg, it wasn't for the arts. What was it for?
I studied IT. Weirdly enough, yeah, I know.
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess so. Yeah,
That's dope. What was your when is the earliest memory of being exposed to art?
when my grandmother made me one of Jesus' disciples in Sunday school. You know what I mean?
How?
Like, so my grandmother, it's always in a bitanda most when we play and stuff like that. So me being her grandchild, I was forced to be part of them. You know what I mean? So from there, like, I think that's when the whole arts thing, you know, actually, it's something, but I never thought it's something you can actually just pursue, you know what I mean? Especially growing up, Oganyo Usuga, like, from the Eastern Cape, because not saying that Banbasa is thinking about ignorant, but then our families mostly, when they look at the arts, they don't really see it as a career, you know what I mean? They're always like, that's why I ended up doing IT, you know what I mean? Probably, bakhona abanye abantu show iminqweno yabo bebefuna ba be a lawyer or something, you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, man, uThixo uyibeka enhlizweni yakho okanye what you have to do ebomini, you have to do it. So I guess mna lamubizo okanye gift enayo mna was that I need to tell stories for a living. Yeah,
Oh wow, that's dope. So when did you decide that, you know what, fine, I've done IT or whatever, but I just want to be an actor?
After Kabilo Fundi IT, I moved back to Eastern Cape, and I was applying for jobs, and I was so miserable. I was so miserable. Yeah, well, up until one day, umama wayesemsebenzini, and I had to have a real conversation with myself, you know. And I was like, except like, ithinde yakho. You know what I mean? Yeah, ulapha ngoku, but then you can't be here, bruh. There's something that you need to do. Yeah. And at that time, if you're not applying or you out with friends, you're always watching movies. You know what I mean? So, man, but Lendo, it kept on. And then this other day, I just woke up. Don't tell it that, you know. And then I started doing research about agencies, you know. I was like, agencies, because I knew the road that I had to go, you know what I mean? It's just that I had to figure out so I started, because I knew that andifundelang film whatsoever, so I was like, okay, why don't you give yourself a chance to learn? Why don't you become an extra, you know? So sure, I got my first extras agency, yeah, well, And then ufumana kwami yona, that's where like I was like, yo, Olit, actually this is what I'm really thinking. And then I spoke to my
And then what did she say? Was she open to it?
yeah.
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah, because I think more, like, actually funny enough, because ukhuleni kwami, ne, I've always been involved in the arts. Like I was a dancer. I used to rap back in the day. You know what I mean? I used to rap back in the day. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? I used to rap back in the day. So I feel like umama knew. But I said, no, man, boy, actually, you know, almost like as long as it's going to work for you, as long as you are happy, you know what I mean, then let's operate, yabo. So after that, I think Thetha and I no put, yabo. And then I signed under an agency, and then this agency was like, please come see us on Monday. So I had to leave Eastern Cape, and then I came to Joburg, yabo. And you figure, like, just after I signed, they're like, so what are you doing? I think it was 2 days out. Are you doing? I think it was on a Wednesday. What are you doing Wednesday? I'm like, nothing. They were like, you know what? Do you mind being a feature on Rhythm City? I was like, like, okay, wait, what? A feature? No, let's go. Let's go. You know what I mean? Went there, and then from there, actually, that's what kind of opened. Actually, that's what made me to be where I am today, because the people I met there, you know, I met a lot of people there that actually helped me to become, because the first person who called me on a Sunday, said you have an audition, Ngomso, was Ukani. I met Ukani at Rhythm City, you know what I mean? We were all there, students and stuff. And she calls me like, you have an audition, class. I'm like, what audition now, you know? I'm like, I bet. But because I've been learning about the industry, you know what I mean, doing research, what's required, there were monologues. I remember a monologue again for my name is Inje Mnyama by uBani Summons. For my nana figure payana lawe. And figure pana baninzi bosabantu bathetha. No, me I know the producer of the show. What's and me, I'm just chilling there. I'm looking at Ukanya. I'm like, hey, bruh, can we get this thing over and done with? You know what I mean? But not knowing that I was making choices while I'm sitting there. I'm watching everybody. I'm like, you know what I mean? Because the mistake abantu abazenza xa befika auditions bafuna uthetha kakhulu. Yabo. Bafuna uthetha kakhulu, and I think one of my acting coaches has always told me that when you get to an audition, just keep to yourself. Keep to yourself and just be you. You know what I mean? So as I figure upon Ukanye went in first. She was number 62 and I was number 63. You know, she went in first and then she came out. She was like, ish, done. And they were like 63. And I was like, ish. I was like, okay, let me do this. So now, right there and there, because I've always grown up with environment whereby I was not really exposed to ikas. I've always been interested about, no, guys. You know what I mean? So I was like, actually, when I do this monologue, I'm just going to switch it up. I went in. I do my monologue, And one of the casting directors was actually a good friend of mine now. Uli was like, can you do it, Kanjena, but keep what you're doing, but can you do this? And then I did it. And then Bajongana, there were 3 of them. It was Uchabu, Uli, who was the third person? I forgot the third person. Bahlala bajongana and they were like, go get your script. You have a callback now.
Oh wow.
So class figure like your funny script, yabo. Everybody who had an equal back, yabo, was sharing a script, yabo. So I kept on saying, yo, guys. Up until this other guy who's actually also a good friend of mine now, Umutsumi, was like, except dog, bam. So I was like, okay, I have it to learn these lines, so let me just understand what's happening.
Yeah.
So I wasn't reading to like say that's the lines. I was reading because it's like, yo, I need to understand what's happening. You know what I mean? And then we went in C/4, and then they paired me with this other dude, and then they would switch us around because there were 2 characters of which there were Nyaupe guys, you know. It was figure upon I see bet, and then they babeka mna no Mutsumi, you know. And then when they put me in Mutsumi, I could feel that actually there's something inside of me, you know what I mean? I bet, yeah, I'm in brilliantly in the grand. At that time, I'm still doing a lot of extra work, you know. So I was meant to be at 70 lan at that time, the following day, yabo. And then about 12 of Sugu, an email. Luckily, and I woke up because I said, man, email. And said, Diamond, congratulations, you got the role.
Oh Wow.
And I was like, wait, what? Like, you got the role, you start rehearsals tomorrow. Listen, that changed everything. For me, that was it. That was that changed my whole life, because when I got there and I met, and Ubutsumi actually also got the role, so we were playing together.
that's
So
dope.
he taught me something I never knew, that yo, bruh, I'm still going to research. I'm like, I don't know, let's go, because we're playing Nyaupe roles. So we'd go around Bram, chilling with Nyaupe boys, we'd go to Brie, you know what I mean? And then we'd steal, you know what I mean? We'd steal something, and then we'd discuss if it's so to an extent that I knew when it came to him, we'll always fight, because we rehearsals will get there an hour before everybody else, because we wanted to be ahead and be like, yeah, let's try to do it like this. And then there's some, because Nelizwe, and then I decided to change my voice. And then the director's like, yeah, are you sure about this? Is this not hurting your voice? It's like, no, let's go. You know what I mean? So from there, the director, like Samson Mlambo Nangoku, like, we still talk, you know what I mean? Nabutu, me, and them, And then what happened was, after again, we place Pelil, I meet up with Umondlo, which Umondlo worked at Rhythm City. He was the casting assistant or something, So I meet up with him, and he's going to say, let's go for an audition. I'm like, he's like, no, let's go. I'm like, I bet, let's go then. So us going to that audition, one of the ladies, Ben Ektanai, on the play, is one of the casting directors. So she gets there, and I was not even ready to audition, you know what I mean? Because I didn't really know what was happening. So I get there, and then he's like, say, script. I'm like, you remember what happened? You want a little role like that? So I'm like, yeah. You're gonna play that role exactly, but like add something to it.
Oh, that's dope.
I'm like, I bet. I bet. I get there, I do what I had to do, but unfortunately, I had to leave for the Eastern Cape, only to find out that I got the role. You know what I mean? I got the role. I came back. I was like, okay, sharp, because she's calling me now, like, no, but I was away. I said, no, but you got the role, dude. I'm like, yo, guys, I'm sorry, But for me at that particular time, I thought, oh, wow, what's happening? You know what I mean? I'm not saying I'm the best actor ever, and Funda every day, Like, what's happening, What Senjalo, Umondli was leaving, he was working as an agent at that time also. So when Mondli left, wa recommend him, and then Mnandaya, I was like, yo, listen, I'll take the job. I mean, who doesn't want to be signed? Like, who didn't want to be signed by Obey at that time? You know what I mean? Even now, he's a great agent. You know what I mean? So I had an opportunity to work hand in hand with Obey, of which he was like running, like Trinity, like has dope artists. You know what I mean? So I got to learn from him. So when there was that transition, it was a transition whereby I'm going to learn how the business works. You know what I mean? I need to learn how the business works. So I think I was there for about 2 months. On the 3rd month, I get a call. Hi, Gcina, how you doing? No, I'm good. How are you? No, I'm sharp. I'll Thetha uMbali from the generations. I'm like, okay. Jonga mamela man. There's this role, kanjani. We heard that you're the guy for us. I was like, in Onrinyam, I thought that the guy I'm working with is pranking me, And I was like, oh, okay. So, but uqala ngomso.
Oh, wow.
And I'm like, okay. And then I call Luz, and I'm like, dude, stop pranking me. I said, no, bruh, like, I'm not pranking you. And then kuphinda kufone kwakhona kuthiwa, look at your contract, look at my contract. I'm like, what? I'm like, yo, this is really happening? You know what I mean? So from there, anya ndifike phayana, but ekufikeni kwam phayana ndifike ndiphethe nala experience yase theatre mos le ndiyifundile. So when I got there, I was like, what is it that I'm gonna do that's gonna make me different? I was like, let me bring in a mannerism. And that's when, like, because I was playing a Nyaupe role yet again. So I was always, okay, if you do this, okay, sharp. Okay, Gcina, yeah, now we at it, we got this. I didn't have lines for the longest time up until they decided to give me lines, because even like some of my actor friends were like, after we shoot, what's going on? What's happening in your mind at this particular time? I'm like, no, but I made a choice, and like my character's way totally different from me. You know what I mean? Because now those. And that guy, and then, but what's why? I was like, no, I'm Mdikane. I just enjoy the performance, So from there, I mean, it kept on growing. And then there was a point whereby I did a movie. And then after that movie, I just felt like, I don't think I want to act anymore. I was like, I don't think.
What do you want to do?
No, like that role was so heavy for me because I'm the kind of person, when I get a role, I actually apply myself to it. You know what I mean? So I played that role, and then I was like, are you sure that this is what you want to do? And I took.
It's too emotional.
It was too emotional, and it was based on a true story. So the guy who wrote it and CEO and the guy who directed it was a life story, yeah, of what happened. You know what I mean? But I just couldn't get over because I thought I had it under control. You know what I mean? Up until I was in this good guy and you call us, hey man, what's happening? And ukubona sometimes character no kwazi ukuhlangahlanganisa. I was like, what's really happening? So for the longest time, I was like, and this is before I knew better. I was like, actually, I just feel like I'm too attached to this character. You know what I mean? I don't want to feel like this anymore. And then I stopped, and then I worked behind the scenes for the longest time. Up until it kept on, like, the itch kept on being there. You know what I mean? And then I made a decision. I remember I called my mom, my brother. I was like, yo, I want to go back to school. And I was 29 at the time. I was like, I want to go back to school. And it was just like, I'm like, yeah, I want to go back to school. I want to go learn more about acting, Not only knowing that by me doing that, I would have been, everything that I thought I knew, being as the next. You know what I mean? Like, it was just a huge eye-opener for me, Went to school and, oh, bruh. That's when I stopped calling acting. I started calling it realism. You know what I mean? That's when my perspective about it started changing, And at that particular time, because I had to deal with a lot of emotions, and it helped me through a lot of things that I was going through. Because sometimes you don't understand that certain things that you go through as a person will help you build your character. You know what I mean? Because sometimes your character might have went through things that you went through, or your character's going through things that you might go through. You know what I mean? Because there's no way that Tina as a band, this is what we never went through similar problems. You know what I mean? So I started learning more about that, and I started learning more about myself. Because Indigo View kind of opened another spark.
Is that where you went?
Yeah, that's where I went to.
What were you doing there?
I was doing acting, an advanced course in acting. You know what I mean? But it was. I mean, we were taught by Abu Camila, Stephen, we had Abu Fiona. You know what I mean? We were taught by the best in the game, but Stephen was dealing with your emotions. You know what I mean? On how you need to really tap into your own emotions in order for you to be able to tell the story, and not say that, oh, I'm playing Umama, but Umama doesn't feel how I feel. Sometimes I do have anxiety. Sometimes I'm sad. Sometimes I don't want to talk. Sometimes I'm happy. You know what I mean? But I've learned to take each and every emotion and sit down with it and be like, why are you here? Let me understand why you're here. You know what I mean?
I think that's very important.
No, it is, because now we're even told that abantu abaninzi will go through land, but no, I need to think back. Nah, that doesn't work. You know what I mean? Thing is, there's one thing that people, okay, let me not say people, when you're acting, your body doesn't know that you're acting. Your body doesn't. It reacts to what you are feeding it. You know what I mean? That's why it's called, like, that's why realism. If in a scene, or you have a monologue that you need to perform, when you're making coffee, do your monologue. While you're watching TV, do your monologue. While you're showering, do your monologue. While you're preparing breakfast, do your monologue. You know what I mean? So that umzimba wako naye, those sense or something, it doesn't get shocked. You know what I mean? Because you don't have to try too hard. You know, that's what I believe in. You don't have to try too hard. You just need to tap in. You know what I mean? And tapping in is that, the walls are too loud. sometimes you need the walls to be too loud in order for you to enjoy conversations with yourself. And that's where the true artistry happens. You know what I mean? Not when everybody's praising you, saying, oh, that scene was dope. Sometimes that makes me feel uncomfortable. You know what I mean? Because in whatever that I'm doing right now, for me, it's training day. You know what I mean? I'm still going to walk into that one room that's going to probably change everything. You know what I mean? But for now, it's training day. Each and every day. Sometimes you use public transport just to observe. You know what I mean? Sometimes no quality takes in the person next to you. And this person is enjoying it. And sometimes you need to be like, but kutene enjoy le ngoma. No le ngoma imenza ntoni. You know what I mean? And then there's another one here, and unezinto zakhe that go through zona. So art imitates life. So as us as actors, yes, we may still with certain mannerisms or whatsoever, but the feelings are true. You understand? And that's how we have to learn how to actually be like, you know what? Ngiyazibamba, ngiyasebenzisa, ngihlala nazo, and I get to understand them.
Oh wow. And I think you've mentioned quite a lot of very important things, and I liked how you spoke about you researching a character before you actually like do it and stuff. I think that's very, very important. I was attending an art exhibition earlier on this year, and I met this lady from Cape Town. She was like touring the whole of South Africa because she was writing a book, and the character that she was writing about had experienced some things in some parts of the country. And I think it's very important for us as artists to understand, not just write, not just try to embody, not just try to, okay, fine, I'm going to work, I'm going to sit, I'm just going to do this thing and then just go home. I think it's very, very important. So I saw that your skills include rugby, dance, and piano. Do you still do any of that?
I only dance when I listen to piano.
Oh, yeah?
That's what I did there.
Oh, wow. I see it.
No,
I
no,
see
no.
it.
I got these punchlines from Osipo. Shut up.
Oh,
Yeah, no.
wow.
I haven't played rugby in a while.
Yeah. You used to play in high school?
Yeah, but I was mostly the water boy. But I did play though. I did play. You know, when someone is like hurt and stuff. But it was never really. It was really never my thing. Hey, are you okay then, man? Are you okay then, man? Listen, I used to play
And
rugby.
just how you said that chilled, you just like, nah.
Wait, but you know what I mean? But for me, like I've always known, because in high school I met up a lady called Miss Human. She's in Australia now. She was one of my first acting coaches, and she told me, like, she's one person who told me, was like, if you ever sleep on this talent, then I don't know what you want, you know. I remember sent her an email when I got my first professional job. I was like, hey, look at me now. You know what I mean? Because, I went to a sports school. I went to South Coast Academy. It was mostly sports, you know what I mean? And there was art ngekopha ngaphandle kwekwaya, yabo. And ndandicula ke tena chonga.
For real?
Chonga. I was deep in the tenor game there. I mean, people who went to school with me will know that anything that was artistic, I was always involved. You know what I mean? So when Miss Human came through, that was life changing. You know what I mean? She's one. I think I've had so many life changes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whereby when I sit down, I'm like, actually, this experience has grown me and helped me to become a better person. Yabo. Ipiano ndidlala, you know, once in a while. Yabo. I'm like, oh my God, but I'm rusty now, you know.
And in dancing, what kind of dance did you used to do?
I used to pantsula, Joe.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I need to see you. I
I used to pantsula. I was part of a group called uMaPokomane Family, you know.
Yeah.
So uMaPokomane Family, you need to understand that wakhona uMaPokomane in Joburg, Smalls, nabo KG, nabo China, they were part of Shows dancing group, yabo. And then we had uMaPokomane Family. We were based in Eastern Cape. Ayo jonga spansula jonga, my man. Yabo.
Go blind.
Chonga. And then I moved to KZN, and then I started cramping for some weird reason.
Oh, wow.
And then I cramp for
What were you doing in KZN?
I did my high school there. I went to boarding school. Pa. I went to a sports school. I wanted to come to NSA, but Doctor, I yeah, people, I Buddha, Joburg is on and I was still young, you know what I mean? Because I as much as in Dingati, way ndizifunde apha ebudaleni bam, but that thing has always been there. But hila wena uzoba ligqithe njani mfundini, you know what I mean, uzoba ngigqirha njani mfundini, you know what I mean. But the beauty of what I do, I can become a lawyer, a doctor, everything, you know what I mean, even a pastor. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh wow. Tell me about your experience in theater.
Theater and television are two different things.
Tell me about theater specifically.
And then I did Shakespeare last year. Okay, I did, the first one I did was, you know, but upon the bonileyo kon ba exe bendiyoqifa manje dazi yonke into is when I did Shakespeare. Yeah. I was playing Permis.
Okay.
Yeah. Jong, sometimes people think that actor you need to try too hard. You know what I mean? You need to try to be funny, you know. But it's also about meeting the beats. Their beats must go young in the sense, you know what I mean? And Roberto was our comedy lecturer, yeah. So Roberto would taught us these beats and stuff, but he would take like few of on the stage. Yeah. I was doing a Midsummer Night's Dream. Like few stage. There were times whereby I was so into the character that sometimes in a libali line, but the audience was laughing, and I'm like, wait, what's going on? Yeah, well, so for me, theater is that space whereby if you make a mistake, you need to continue with it. You know what I mean? Theater for me is a holy place.
Because in TV you can just say lines or whatever, then they cut.
Yeah, and then they could edit it.
Okay, yeah.
Park editor, bruh.
People are here, they've paid.
You know, people are here, they've paid. You know what I mean? And not only the people, but your co-actors.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Can't let
Here's the
them
thing
down.
about acting. Acting is not only about
But
me.
you, yeah.
It's not only about me. It's about my fellow actor who, like, okay, for me, like, I remember, like, one thing that theater told me is that surprise your co-actor all the time. You know what I mean? So that's kube khona, because sometimes, and that worked for me. I was shooting something, and one of the directors was like, when you mess up a line, don't stop, continue. You know what I mean? So theater has helped me to be able to think on my feet, but most importantly, it has helped me to heal. You know, it has helped me to heal because, oh, yeah. When I was doing theater last year, I was going through the most darkest time in my life, you know. And it's funny how I found healing, pa. You know, it was not about the people. It was not about. It was not about anybody else except that I had to prove something to myself and I had to heal through it. You know, a theater is that place whereby the emotions, I call it the holy place. That's a church, bruh. You know what I mean? I respect that stage. You know, I wish I could do more theater than television, to be quite honest with you. You know what I mean? Because for me, I feel like it's a place whereby it comes with a lot of healing. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's how I think about theater.
Oh wow, that's dope. And I feel like as much as I'm not the on stage person and I do want to like make theater but behind the scenes, I feel like I've always found that in theater. I watched my first theater play late 2020 and I've never looked back.
Yeah.
Like I need to make sure that everyone's in a while. And if like a certain time passes and I haven't been, I'm gonna feel it. I'm gonna feel that no, there's something
Yeah.
that I need. There's something that my soul's need. Because theater is exactly that. Theater's gonna heal you. And then you've done quite a lot of TV. You've done
Oh, yes.
Generations, Gomorrah, uMbali, Umakoti, just to name a few. How was the transition from theater to TV?
Zotini, for
Or what's the difference for you, maybe?
a person who comes from a theater background, it's easier to transition into television. But for a person who's from a television background, it's hard for them to transition into theater. You know what I mean? So from now, that's why it's training day. You know what I mean? I'm still on my training process. I'm still putting in the hours. I'm not there yet. You understand? So what happens is that because nasesikolweni mos, like you know, we were told this, yeah, but this is theater, this is even the acting style. Sometimes theater requires you to be you know even articulation yakho man, yabona, you have to be loud because
Has to hear you.
you know,
They have to hear you.
you know, and the TV
Camera is here.
cameras, yeah, you know what I mean.
There's a boom. You are mic.
You are mad, so
it's just,
you know what I
don't
mean.
really have
So
to.
from now, that's how I feel. I feel like who comes from a theater background, it's easier for them to go to TV. But also TV, akolula to yabo. So that's why I'm grateful for my theater experience. I haven't done much theater, you know what I mean. I've done more TV than theater, but theater anything,
Nah?
anything.
Oh wow. So how do you prepare for a role? Like if you get a call, they're like, okay, there's this role, whatever. Maybe they give you whatever they give you. How do you then prepare, like to
I always,
play that role?
I always take down notes.
Yeah.
Like they could say that you are playing Gcina who comes from Brixton, you know, Gcina. Like brief yakho kanye, the bio of the character you need to play is already telling you where this person comes from.
Yes.
The only thing that you need to investigate is this person's thoughts. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? It's okay lo muntu ucinga ntoni at this particular time. The choices that you make, you know what I mean? Okay, if I make this choice, how will this affect the character? You know what I mean? And while you're reading, because sometimes when you read through a script, the writer always tells you how you need to feel. The writer always tells you, Amanda Banins is too focused on the lines. It's not about the lines. It's about you telling us a story whereby a writer said, a writer is what ugcina uzophakamisa le glass and then asele. And then aphinda ibeke phansi. You know what I mean? But then what's going on through but what journey are you taking the audience to? You understand? So from now, I always investigate it thoughts as a lomdu. But okay, ucinga noni? Unangaphi? Oh, na 30. Oh.
And I remember how on set, on uMbali, you would always go and sit with your family and uMbali
Yeah.
and just talk to them during whether it's lunch, whether it's whatever, and just get to understand them in order for you to understand your character better.
Because sometimes that helps. You know what I mean? That helps because Wiseman is playing my brother on uMbali, ne? And Upechuna, one of my closest friends, we got into the industry song, and then Sayofunda Eskolweni C1 song was playing my sister-in-law, and I had Bob Don was playing my father. You know what I mean? So I had to go sit down and go know them personally. Upechuna already knew her personally, you know what I mean? But I had to investigate my father and my brother to be like, oh, okay, sure. So, do you believe in this or not? No, they don't. Because the character is not too far from who you are.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
You need to tap on a part of
You're
yourself.
part of yourself,
Yes.
you know what I mean? So, me getting to know them better, that's when we started having a relationship. You know what I mean? Relationship, sometimes, we'll go out, you know, just to hang out and also kind of know, okay, sure, when we're at this space and then at that space. So that the chemistry on camera is real. You know what I mean? Because you get to other shows, bruh, and then you act off on your phone, not running lines now. Like, I don't run lines now. I'm cool. And you're like, oh, okay, sharp. And then when you get on screen, you can tell there's a disconnect. Yeah. You understand? And there's another thing that no matter how famous we can get, there's one thing that we need to understand as actors is that we are selfless people. You know what I mean? The fact that we act, it means that we're selfless. You know what I mean? It means that we take our beliefs, everything about ourselves, we put it out there for everybody to accept or not to accept. You know what I mean? So we can't be like, nah, I'm too bougie for this. Nah, I signed that brand deal. No. It's about telling stories. It's about healing. And people think that it's about healing other people. It's about healing yourself.
Nah.
It's about healing yourself. Before anything, mina believe in thyself more than anything else. That's why I'm going to tell you now that I'm a yarn and I'm a snack. And I don't care no. It is because my confidence is the one that also helps me when I need to. Sometimes you go through a character. I remember the character playing on uMbali came out after I got mugged. After I got mugged, it came out. And the following day, I was like, I almost got killed. If that person had actually decided, I'm going to shoot this boy, I'm going to shoot this boy. You understand? Because that character was already a part of me. You know what I mean? A part of me. So abanye abantu receive parts of us in a good way, and some people receive parts of us in a bad way, and that's okay. It's life. But we must mainly focus on healing thyself, so that when we healed Tina as a bantu, the people who are meant to receive the art, they can now be like, you know what, I'm willing to receive this because this is true.
Oh wow. Oh wow. What advice would you give someone who wants to pursue art, like acting as a career?
Go to school.
No.
Go to school. Do
But then,
research.
like, does it have to be like professional training? Because going to like art schools is very expensive.
Guys, we've got DNA, for example. It's free. Every Thursday. It's free.
The Dumantlovo Academy.
Yeah. Do you know that when I couldn't afford to, there are people that I'll never forget. When I couldn't afford to go to acting school, I used to go to Soweto. There's a brother of mine, Usbusiso, and his wife. I think they called, what was that? Imposter, something like that. Do you know that those guys, what they did? Babe figure scaler. We used to go to this other school, right? Masfika Lapayana would act the whole day. And then when we feel like our play is ready, we go perform in the streets. You know what I mean? And abantu abaningi bacabanga ukuthi going to school is only getting that degree. Going to school is going to somebody who's knowledgeable and saying that, please mentor me. I remember back in the day, I think I told you this before we started shooting. You see, we used to go to Brixton Boxing Club. Nabo Bukang Pelani, Nabo KG, Nabo Yves Hasmeni, Nabo Liha Kwetlale, you know what I mean? People are actually doing good right now. Like they're actually out here, they're shooting away, they're busy, Joe, you know what I mean? We used to go to a Brixton. And a Brixton in the sense, we used to share knowledge amongst each other. We used to act the whole day. And the only thing we had was lunch and weed for I mean, it was coppers and weed for lunch. You know what I mean? Because we chill there and then we make sure that, hey, guys, we are improvising. Today we're doing improvisation. We're improvising. Tomorrow we're focusing on this, we're focusing on this, focusing on this. And shouldn't we went through that? If Sanga young land, I'm sure, I'm guessing a couple was
True.
you know what I mean? But then uncedo.
True.
You know what I mean?
That's just
So
one
when
thing.
city go to school, because, like, for example, I'm mentored by a lot of veterans in the game. It is because I went to them and I wanted to understand about why
Yes.
are you still here? How are you consistent? How were you consistent during Itesha whereby there was no social media? And then now you're still consistent. Who on social media? You understand? That's school. That's learning. Go to workshops.
Oh wow.
Go to workshops.
Nah.
Saturdays shouldn't be for drinking. Saturdays you should be focusing on your craft.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing is that sometimes we forget that the craft requires you to be alone. The craft doesn't want you to be around too many people, too many opinions. Sometimes it needs you to have a conversation with yourself and be like, yo, mama, okay, you need to husa. You know what I mean? Utoke sharp. Dilapa. What's the next move? You know what I mean? Okay, the character 18. Oh, ndiziva kahle namhlanje. Yo namhlanje ndiziva kahle. Once you start enjoying your own presence, that's when uzokwazi ukuthi xa ufika nangaphandle. Because fame comes with what we do. You know what I mean? No matter how famous you get, ingangena enhloko. Because what happens is that sometimes fame gets into ezinhlokweni zethu and we forget why we did it in the first place.
True. That's so true. And I think what you're saying about being with yourself, especially like when you're in this industry, especially acting, I feel like it's very important because if you can understand yourself completely, then whenever you get a role or whenever you are behind the camera or on the theater stage, you will know exactly which part of yourself to give, and you will be able to give it your all, give that part all of it, and that's when you get to experience perfection in the art. What's that one thing that you love most about acting?
Is having to take people through a journey. You know what I mean? And you see, traveling is like reading a book. So taking your audience through a journey is like ubavula ingqondo about certain parts of themselves. So in order for me to be able to give them that, I need to give thyself. You know what I mean? Because I'm a firm believer of healing. Yeah, like last year I went through the pits, but I didn't know that what I was going through was preparing me for something bigger. Sometimes izinto sizibona nje kwenzeka le nto elifini yami yho andiyagowa, you know what I mean? But lam goal is actually helping. Life is like, ndithanda uthi kwi-sisters zami ezincinci kuse ilife ifana negame fethu. Level 1 ugrand, level 2 it's okay, level 3, level 4. Xa ufika phaa level 25 bakhona eza challenges and ithi sowuqhelile kwezinye ilevel uba hayi I can do this like this, like that, like that. But then the more you cool as the more that you get to experience different things. And as it's not that because uthwaliswe umthwalo wena as a person that you have to carry, but those are the key fundamental things that are going to teach you how to switch from how you thinking to the next level, so that should anything of that caliber comes through phambili, you know how to tackle it.
Oh wow. You are also a voiceover artist. Tell me what that is. How is it like, and what does one have to do to do that as a career?
So a voiceover artist is a person who narrates stories. Ungambona must narrate. It's a person who narrates stories. Funny enough, how I got into voiceovers, I don't know what was happening. Like that actually, like I was at work and then I got to, can you do this? And then I did it, you know what I mean? And then after I did it, it started becoming a thing, you know? We're buying ways and bizwa no bizwa. I mean, I remember I got bizwa a lot for a new brand. And one daily pie, and I'm looking at the people I'm going up against. I'm like, yeah, so this is what you know what I mean? So that's how it came about. Yeah, but the challenge is span. I'm still learning about it. Even now, I'm not gonna say I'm perfect about it. You know what I mean? But I always that's why I need to. Iskolo is important because into kunceda ngayo yonke la wena is the fact that uyakwazi, because avula ufike pha uthi you need to tell a story. You know what I mean? You need to grab these people's attention. You know what I mean?
Because they can't see you.
They can't see you.
It's only your
I was
voice.
doing a voiceover for Sean, SABC 2. 13 episodes. When I sat down and I listened to it, I was like, wait, what? I was like, oh. It's like, actually, this guy's believable. By the way, that guy was me. I'm just chilling. I'm like, actually, this guy's...
Yeah.
So it depends what kind of voiceover you're doing, but you need to be... You're storytelling. Voiceover is storytelling. It's part of storytelling. You know what I mean? So I always... That's something like... I always tell people who come up to me, like, I want to be an actor, I want to be a presenter, I want to be a voiceover artist. I'm like, in the research.
No.
In the research, you'll find that voiceover agency. You'll find that Nolan, you find it's a school whereby guys, workshops is school. Workshops is school. But then also be careful because ngoku abantu abaninzi, because they get too desperate to be in the industry. You find a lot of agencies about hey, bhatalani imali engaka nengaka.
I've
You know what I
experienced
mean?
that.
In order for you to do 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, yeah,
To get a profile,
you know what I
to
mean?
get this, you need to pay 3.5. Like, dog.
Do research.
Get me the gig, then I'ma pay you.
You know what I mean? Do research, guys. Let's do research. Besifundeni kanjalo. You know what I mean?
You are a street presenter at Daily Thetha.
Oh, yes.
How is that experience?
It helps me a lot.
Yeah.
It helps me a lot because
I watch Daily Thetha a lot. Now I don't have a TV. But yeah, I
That's
used to
okay.
watch Daily Thetha a lot.
Yeah, like-
and it's like, yo, it's an amazing, amazing show. You learn every, all the time.
yeah, Daily Thetha, like Daily Thetha has helped me in a sense whereby I meet when I'm street presenting, would shoot like close to 6 episodes, 4 to 6 episodes a day. You know what I mean? So I'm on the road. So I could be in Auckland Park, I could be in Randburg, I could be in Midrand, I could be in Pretoria. Like I go through all these different places where I meet different people who have different thoughts and perspectives, who are actually even going through different things. You know what I mean? So what I do is also part of storytelling because I meet these people, I listen to their story, and then I actually sit down and I'm like, oh my God. I might think I'm having it bad, but hey, There are places where you go to and you're like, wait, you're really going through this? You know
and
what I
then
mean?
you just realize that you're just in a grateful motherfucker.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So the street presenting helps me a lot with my storytelling, because sometimes I know I can be able to go back and be like, oh my God, I met up with the one, especially when I'm journaling. I know guys need to do journal, but you must do it, man. It helps you, you know. Even when I'm journaling and I'm like, yo, today I met Ubani and the story is in you know. So I get to learn through other people's experiences, you know what I mean? Funny enough, I went to school for it.
Yeah.
For presenting, yeah.
Oh, that's dope.
Ningathi information, guys. Notletema has a presenting school. There's OnQ. There's media concepts at SABC. You know what I mean? Let Tamelin actually Tamelin even does those. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, those are the conversations that people are not ready to have with people because they don't want to plug people. Mna, come to me and say that.
And that's very sad.
You know what I mean? Come to
That's
me and
very
ask for information and not ask me to put you on. Ask me, say, Buddha, how can I be? Mna, I think I've known Pesivil like as for years, but not even one day. Even one day, please put me on because you're a producer of a big show. You know what I mean? I never did that. You know what I mean? I was like, I'm gonna work. Up until one day we met at the corridors and said, hey, ulapa and laugh. You know what I mean?
I think that's how it's supposed to be. I feel like sharing information, and then when, as a person, if you really love this thing and you really want to, because you need to put in the work. You need to put in the work. That's one thing people don't want to do. People are just like, I'm not saying don't plug your people. Do plug your people, but with some things you can't plug your people. With some things, the best that I can do is to tell you, go to dog, here and here and here, you can actually get 1, 2, 3, 4, and that can actually help you with your career. And you can even be better than I am because you need that. But people don't really want the work. People just want to say, I know Gcina, put me on Thetha. To do what? What are you going to do? What experience do you have? What qualifications do you have? What are you going to offer? They don't, nothing.
Let me be open-minded about something that me and there's a friend of mine who always fight about this. You know what I mean? I said, but not everybody's gonna take the school route. You know what I mean? That's
okay.
That's okay. You know what I mean? But can I tell you? One of the presenters on Daily Thetha told me one thing. Watch American shows on YouTube. You know what I mean? Up until you find your presenting style that, oh, this is what I'm gonna get out, this is what I'm gonna do, this is what I'm gonna do, this is what I'm gonna do. You understand? Because the reality of the fact is that in South Africa, you can't be an actor only. You need to be an actor, presenter,
True.
assistant director, producer. You need to be busy. You know what I mean? In okay.
And you did a show.
Oh yeah.
What is the name again?
I did Generations.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's dope. There's also that game show that I saw.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh yeah. The Saturday Showdown.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh my God, that was beautiful. Oh. I met amazing people there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the thing. It's like what we do always. Actually, isihlanganisa nabantu ababhaya who are beautiful souls, and then when you sit there, you're just like, oh my God, I'm so grateful for this experience. You know what I mean?
So do you think you would, in the long term, would you want to like pursue more behind the scenes, or do you still want to stay in front of the camera?
I want to stay in front of the camera for now.
Okay.
But here's the funny thing: I do them both. Like even now, I do them both. I have time for acting and I have time for behind the scenes. You know what I mean? The reason why is that in acting, sometimes you can get a nice gig that's gonna be like, you know what I mean? Sure, I know that I'm fully booked for that year. You know what I mean? But then because I'm still training, I'm still learning. I don't know anything. You know what I mean? And I know everything. I know the ins and outs of the industry. I don't know nothing. You know what I mean? The only thing that I need to do now, one, is that I need to keep on learning each and every day. I never knew about podcasting up until I sat down to you and you were explaining this whole thing. I was like, this is actually something, you know what I mean? So I'm still learning. This, for me, is still I'm still learning on both behind and in front of the scenes. Because sometimes I take time off screen and then I'm fully focused behind, and sometimes I'm juggling between the two. Hip hop because you know what I mean. Not that they're break or whatsoever, but it's also like you need to get as much information as you can while you still can. Yeah, well, so that when the time comes, like say I want to retire, no lie, probably in my 70s I'll be directing. But you're drunk. But 18, guys.
We need to see you.
Ah,
We
it's
need to
18.
see you. Do you think actors are getting the right opportunities, the right recognition and respect?
Yeah, that's a hard one.
I know.
Are they?
The hard questions are coming. I'm joking.
No, man. Like, listen, man. I feel like we're not taken seriously up until Islambi sitting for elections. You know what I mean? We're not taken seriously.
Ish. That's
Yeah,
very
we
sad.
there. Do you know what hurts? It hurts when you hear people, they're like, oh, what do you do? You're like, you're an actor. And then they're like, oh, I don't watch TV, so I don't know you. And I'm like, I wasn't telling you because you need to know me. You know what I mean? Jonga pra ibuhlungu with the fact that abantu abaninzi abazi actors or anybody in the industry, could be music whatsoever, uxa usweleka bra awunayo ne plan. You know what I mean? On a plan, bra, like ungavaya ngoku, and then you just like, yo, what's next? How's my family gonna be fed?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So abalingisi wasingakhe sihlale ke I think we need to have a serious conversation, Tina, as the people who are within the industry. You know what I mean? There's no way that abantu abaphezulu and are running like abarana the system, if you can call it a system. Yeah, well, we need a person who understands art.
Honestly.
We need guys. Guys, kubuhlungu. Yazi khona there are actors I grew up looking up to, but then bungabona isimo sabo ngoku, you're just like,
It's very
wait.
sad. And they're very talented,
They're very
knowledgeable,
talented, and nobody.
everything.
And nobody. Here's the thing is that we are in an industry whereby if you're on a hot show, ne, you on that hot show, people will love you. You know what I mean? And then the minute that show gets canned, okanye umke show, people tend to
Don't
forget
care.
about you, and then the only thing they're pointing fingers at you that, hey, kanchonge numama sakenjani ngoku. You know what I mean? So where's status serious njani?
It's very sad.
Status serious njani? Excuse me. I know that the world is shifting to that whole digital space, the brands and stuff like that. But let's be honest. I'll make an example. Mama, you could go to the press to betil. You understand? Unbetil. The first people who are gonna pull out are the brands. And then if you have close to 22 million followers, only 1,000 will believe that, nah, this bro didn't do this. You know what I mean? I've seen people go through that. I've seen people go through a cancel culture. Man. Once again, there's a friend of mine who was accused of doing something, got to be nama. And I'm like, hey, man, was when they said this happened. You know what I mean? So there's also that Tina, we have everything to lose, man.
No?
Umuntu angangakufuni namhlanje for ninami ubhala ngawo emaphepheni, and then somebody will like, actually, we don't think that you work for the show.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's very sad.
No, it's a sad industry that we're in, you know. Brands will drop you, your own fans will drop you. So that's why it's also all about
The love is not really love. It's just,
it's-
not really love. How has your experience been like working in this industry, like the entertainment industry?
it's been rough. I've been broke. I've been evicted like 3 times. I've been dumped. People felt pity for me at some point. Some point I wanted to give up. Some point like there were suicidal thoughts. But we're here now.
No.
We're here now.
This industry is
We're here.
not.
Every industry is like this, guys. every industry. Let's
So you don't think this one is worse, but maybe it may be that it's in the spotlight, obviously, because it's the entertainment industry.
listen. It's showbiz. At the end of the day, we since Mali with what's hot now. You understand? Yeah, well, ungambe uba IT, ungangugqirha. All industries have their own shenanigans. It's just that we're here. Yeah, well. But now, I was talking to you earlier on. You were telling me about Pila, that he's got a show going to Zimbabwe. I'm proud of him. I'm proud of him. That's where us as artists should be doing. We should be writing things that we're gonna be on. Because I need to, guys, that whole thing of we need to wait for Uba, I need to cast me, yeah, I need to be friends with Mang Mang. You know what I mean?
You're an artist, Mos.
You know, Bala. You know what I mean? Go tell that story because we have so many stories.
But we're not all writers. So we have
But
to be honest.
like, okay, Mama, let's be honest. We always know that one person.
Okay.
We always know that one person we can. I'm that kind of actor. I met some writers. I was eavesdropping. Met some writers. I think it was last week, right? Met these guys and I was eavesdropping. Yeah, well, and these guys were talking about writing. I was like in the conversation. I went there, you know what I mean? We started talking. So you build relationships. Listen, I'm saying find time to be within yourself, to heal for you. But then at the same time, ungazivaleli uthi andizithetha nomama, but because you know what I mean. No, be out there because as much as uzivalela is about knowing you as the person. Going out there is about selling. You know what I mean? Whatever that you are selling, you're not gonna make money solo but
And finding collabs. People are working out
People
there.
are working.
So people are working.
People are
One
working.
thing about people
people
are
are
not sleeping on themselves.
people are working. Like
People
I'm
are
not gonna lie.
working. People are working. Like the people that I have on my contact list, whenever I watch WhatsApp statuses, I have to be ready. Cause whether I'm not feeling okay, whether I'm gonna be inspired, I'm gonna be forced to do something because people are working. And I feel like I've been fortunate enough to be able to have people that are artists and that are doing like big and amazing things in my circle. So whenever I'm watching someone's status, I'm just like, Mama, get up, get your ass up, get up.
Like you gotta do something.
just get
You gotta
up.
do something. But there's one thing that my mother always reminds me is that as much as you need to have people in the industry, you need to make friends with people outside the industry.
Oh yeah, most of my close friends, like one of my best friends is in Cape Town. She's a software developer. She's working for Vodacom.
Yeah.
And then my three best friends also that are here in Joburg. One of them is doing some science degree. One of them is doing law. One of them graduated last year. She was not doing anything related to art. I've got another friend, Lucia. I've got quite a lot of friends. And they just. Most of them, they're not even doing the art. So I've got good relationships and good friends in the art, but my close friends, they're not really artists.
Yeah, because sometimes you get tired about talking about the politics. Yeah, like I won't lie. Like sometimes because that's what we do. We're always talking about the politics.
I feel like another important thing is being able to distinguish between friends and associates.
And colleagues.
And colleagues, exactly. Being able to understand relationships. Because we end up mixing the things and then it just ends up not working. Now I know, me and we have this kind of relationship. Me and this person, we have this kind of relationship. If I need 1, 2, 3, 4, I can go to this person. If someone like this comes to me needing this, I know that it's a level 1 thing. I need to make sure that they get it.
While we talk about friends, there's a video I watched, a couple of coffees, like, yo, dude, you need to be careful of the people that you call friends, because sometimes you like ngizama summarize la video, sometimes uye uthi uxoxele ichomi zakho something, but iqalile le yaphupha this nigga dreaming, you know what I mean? But then you need to be in circles whereby you find that person whereby actually I know somebody.
Let's do this.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If a person who doesn't support my dream is not my friend. I'm not gonna lie.
What is friendship then?
I don't know.
Because I feel like maybe
Like
we define friendships different, and I feel like it's very important for us to understand it.
Because not everybody's your friend in this game. Like, do you know that there are people who actually listen to your ideas? Next thing you know, you see your idea happening, and you're like, Like,
But like you need to
So,
understand
don't
the term friend.
like for me, like there are people that I keep close, that I'm not scared. That I'm not scared. If should they do me wrong, I'm gonna let go. You know what I mean? Because I love yung apostic for nin and nyanzelegang ba yabo. But friendship mna is mna believe in brotherhood and sisterhood. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? If I'm a person whereby ndizokwazi urely kuwe in a sense whereby ndijonga for xa ndidown sibambisane, you know, siphile. Not umuntu fonini omxelela into ngoku ugqiba uyibone fonini hey nansi into yami
No, but the thing is, I feel like we play ourselves when it comes to friends. Like, you need to be honest with yourself, and then
I
you
don't
can
know.
see honest intentions. Like, you saw with me, I've got different kinds of friends that point to me differently, and I point to them differently.
Do you know why I'm saying I don't know what the true definition of friendship? It was because I used to have best friends in primary, in high school.
you can't count
No,
that.
listen, in high school,
can't count
in high school, there's that neighbor we've been friends forever, but today we're not talking. Why?
You can't count that.
Why? Why can't
You
we?
was a kid.
No, except being a kid, even never see it. I mean, like I've lost.
No, but let's talk about friendships now as an adult, because now you.
That's why I don't know how to define friendship.
Okay, I feel
You know
like
what I mean?
maybe you need to know that, then you can be able to serve your friends the right way, because friendship is about value exchange.
That's what I'm saying. But also, friendship is that the one thing I got to understand is that if each woman ngumuntu ofaneke oyaziba yazijonga lona umuntu noba kuthiwa kuhletywa ngam. You understand? If people could be talking about me, that person will be there. Ngathi kanjalo ngichomi yami.
No, but the thing is, we expect all our friends to be the same, but that's impossible.
Okay, Andy, more wrong.
That's impossible.
Yeah,
You saw
no,
with
Andy,
me.
more wrong.
You saw
Yeah.
with me when I was about to start the podcast. I was like, Nina and Sipo are my friends. I was like, dude, I want to start this. They were like, yeah, sure, fine, we're gonna, and this is happening. But then had I told my other friends that, they're probably not gonna know how to support me. But when the podcast started and I shared the link with them, they shared it instantly. And that was them supporting me in a different way. So I cannot expect them to pour into me in the same way, because they're different people. They expect different things. They are fulfilled differently also. So what I pour into them individually is different. What they pour into me is different. And all that different stuff makes me complete. And whatever it is that I add to them makes them complete in a way.
Mama, thank you for educating me. Nah, see, now I'm educated. Now I know what friendship is. You know what I mean? I believe in brotherhood and sisterhood. If
I do too. I
you know
do
what
too.
I mean?
My friends are my sisters, my brothers.
Yeah,
but
like, for me,
but we
friend-
shouldn't put unnecessary pressure on our friends, and we shouldn't put expectations on them. We should allow them to love us the way that they know best. And if that is not enough for us, then we can end the friendship. But we shouldn't expect them to like give us a 150 if they can only offer a 90. Because some people, like, a 90 is all that they have. They don't have the 10. They don't know where they can find it. But it's everything. They've given you everything. But because when you want more, now you're putting unnecessary pressure on them.
That's why I don't know how to define friendship. You know what I mean?
But then we end up losing friends also. So
Yeah, like
I value friendship more than everything.
like
more than family.
like
even. I'm
and
joking.
you know good friendship so like sometimes they usibhaqa kwezinye izinto, you know. Yeah, that's the thing. I feel like I love them all, but I trust no one.
I trust my friends.
I trust no one.
I trust my friends.
I
trust
think
my
I think I have
friends.
trust issues, but yeah, I really.
I trust my friends, and I'm very good with reading energies also. I trust my friends. Like, there's nothing that I wouldn't do for my friends, and I know that in their power, there's nothing they wouldn't do for me. As long as it's within their power, they wouldn't even hesitate. They wouldn't even think twice. And I'm like that too. And if they were ever to request something that is above me, I would tell them honestly, and they would understand, and vice versa.
Bafethu jonga mamela ndifundise nge-friendship namhlanje. Listen, this is good. This is good.
It is.
You
It
add,
is.
you adding knowledge, kum.
It is.
That's
We're
why
always learning.
Yeah, we're always learning. So guys, xa nifuna uact fanele sometimes niqale conversation uthathe la uyifake kuwe, you know. Ufunde. That's yeah.
I feel like people are scared of being wrong. That's why they don't learn. But then, like, man, I have a lot of conversations, especially with uPumzile, my friend. Like, we used to stay in the same race, and I went to visit her earlier on this year in Cape Town. Like, we can stay until 3 a.m., 2 a.m., talking about one thing and you sharing your opinion, I'm sharing my opinion. Sometimes we could be agreeing about the same thing, but it's the same topic. Sometimes we could be disagreeing, and we understand that we don't have the same views. Perspectives are different, and for me to learn and understand your view, I need to converse with you. So even if I'm wrong, even if I can feel that I'm wrong, I should be able to admit and say, okay, I actually didn't see it that way, but now I do. But as long as I don't see it that way, I'ma still be trying to show you my perspective. You're still trying to show me yours until one of us sees it. Oh, actually, it's like that.
I love this
That's
for
how
you,
you learn.
mama. Like, this looks good on you, right?
Oh wow!
This looks
Wow.
good on you.
Okay,
This looks
let's move.
good. I just learned about friendship. You know what I
Oh
mean,
wow!
guys?
Let's
Like,
move. Where do you see yourself professionally in the next 5 years?
mm, I haven't thought about 5 years, dog. I've thought about 10. I don't see myself in South Africa.
Yeah.
I wanna go to the UK so bad. Everybody
I
wants.
think you should.
Everybody is talking about America. Everybody's talking about
I feel
America.
like UK is more accessible than America.
Yeah, I wanna go stay in UK nje. Yabona, can you act, man, pa? Also, like, UK has one of the best television, like when it comes to shows.
Yeah.
Like presenting, because also I don't want to box myself to be like, I want to be like an actor only. You know what I mean? I actually, because I went to media concepts to go study presenting, so I also want to pursue that side of me. You know what I mean? That side of me, you know,
You want to pursue anything other than acting?
I wanna mainly focus on acting and presenting.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Nothing outside of that.
I'm a tender, guys. If I can't attend,
Please.
if I can't attend, guys, just hit me up, yo. Yeah, well, but I see myself in the UK. I don't see myself in America as much as I see myself in the UK. Acting or like making TV, you know what I mean? There's one thing I don't ever want to stop doing is making TV, whether I'm in front or behind the scenes. 5 years, 5 years ngizoba ngisadlalela local, yabo. Ngisadlalela local.
Getting ready to.
Yeah, because I mean, I'll be 35. Hopefully I'll be married. I don't know.
You want to get married in 5 years?
I mean, ngashada namanje mina mfethu ngiyangimind.
Oh wow.
Yeah, but
Oh, wow.
5 years I see myself locally. But 10 years from now, I'm international. UK it is.
That's dope. That's dope. How would you define art?
It's hot.
Yeah.
It's hot. Have you noticed when you're spelling what's this? Hot. It's HEART. Yonke into isuka enhliziyweni.
Art is embedded in the
And
word art.
isuka enhliziyweni, and it's a spiritual thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's art is very spiritual.
It's hearty.
You know what I mean? It's very spiritual, and also like, and you know that since we're talking about spirituality now, is that the art is spiritual is that it takes a lot from a human, because especially like up at Joburg is a place whereby you're required to be spiritually strong, but it's hard for you to be spiritually strong. So imagine being an artist in such a fast-paced place like this. You know what I mean? So for me, I just feel like art is spiritual, art is heart, art is the soul, because art is not for selfish people. You know, you can't be selfish when you're doing art. You need, because what you offer those people, you know what I mean? The audience. But I just pray that we come to a point whereby we don't let the noise that's coming from the audience block the vision, because the vision is bigger than the bigger picture, actually.
No.
You know what I mean? Hey, Sipo, I got that one from you, boy.
Okay, wow. Yeah, thank you, Supo, for the influence. The entertainment industry is it's full of stress and pressure. How do you tackle that, like with your line of work?
I pray, meditate, the pasha, athanas, like Jonga. yonke into I'm not come from a Christian background, yabo. So yonke into endiyaziyo, I know that greater is he that is in me than the one who's in the world. Yabo. That's what I know. Yabo. So ngoku andizuqhatha I do go out, to like say, hey, ichukucha for ndizive, yabo. But mostly, I spend most of my time on prayer. Sometimes, as you might find me weird, mna ndinqimthatha walk and ted. And udlule wena ucifa mhlawumbe uyaphambana yazi. But no one phambana, it's me talking to God at that time. It's me speaking my mind out. It's me writing it down and saying this is what's up. It's me just hanging out. You know what I mean? Slowly talking about. But I'm trying to talk cool in industry because I get too emotional. I get too emotional. But yeah, I'm praying and passion and just being within me. But I'm like, I'm not gonna answer because today I don't feel like answering because today I need to deal with me. Because in this busy world, we're too focused about making it. We tend to forget about ourselves. You know. So now you're not doing a choice.
And if you lose yourself, you've lost everything.
And losing yourself is hard, eh?
You've lost everything. Yeah.
Losing yourself is hard, eh? You know? So yeah, I think that's how I deal with it.
Wow. Do you still get nervous being in front of the camera?
Yeah, I'm nervous now. Like
now, like right now,
yeah.
or before, like we started.
I'm nervous. Up until you guys say cut, then I'm like,
oh well, I guess by now you're like, oh chill.
You never get used to it. You never get used to it.
Oh wow.
You never. Like, I don't care who says what, you never get used to it.
Yeah.
Ever.
Oh wow, okay. So 3 questions. Your favorite memory?
My favorite memory. Wait, my favorite memory in art or in general?
Any.
The birth of my little sister.
Yeah, youngest.
Yeah, it was on Sunday, so when Sunday was born.
How old is she?
She's what now? I'm 10 years older. She's 20. Her birth. Oh, wow. I'll never forget that memory. Because Katayozalo, I was left alone in Lini, you know what I mean? And then there was no electricity. There was like load shedding, bro. Like, you know,
oh my goodness.
There was load shedding. Like back in the day, it wasn't load shedding, but and everybody was gone. So I'll never forget that memory because I couldn't wait to see her. Yeah, I couldn't wait to see her. So yeah.
And when you first held, I remember 2 years ago, December, my sister had a kid, and we went to the hospital to fetch them. And when I held him in my hands, I was like, I know I don't want my own, but it was cute. Like a little human.
But I remember
tiny hands.
I dropped my sister at some point.
I once sat on my this face. I was very young. I think I was 12 when my sister had her. They didn't even want me to touch her or even to come next to her. Like my mom was sitting and my sister was in bed, and then I just came and sat in the bed and she was there sleeping. Oh my goodness!
Oh
my goodness!
Even my other sisters, like I was so careful with them. Like Ubuve and Thetha, I was just like, okay, cool. I need to be careful with these ones. You know what I mean? But Usani, so like she grew up to be this strong woman, and every time I look at her, I'm like, wait, what? When did we get here? You know what I mean?
So dropping her really helped.
Yeah, it did.
Joking.
It did. Actually, it did. It did. Because she'd be dropping bars right now. Like I never knew I'd be getting advice from her. I'm like, what?
Nah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's dope. 2 people you wish to work with?
I DM'd Tyler Perry already, so I just hope like he responds.
He should.
I did. I DM'd him last year. I was like, bro, I can't wait to work with you.
And then one day he's gonna say it's when you guys are working together and he's trying to DM you, he'll be like,
yeah. It's Tyler.
I should DM to somebody as well.
Yeah, you should. It's Tyler Perry. Definitely Denzel. You know.
Yeah.
I wanna feel his energy. I wanna. You know that energy.
Talented.
Yeah, I just wanna be in the presence of his craft.
Ne?
You know, I just wanna even if it's one line, I'm like, Ola.
That's it.
You
don't have to.
You know, but I really.
Don't have to.
No, man. I'm over trying too hard. You know.
What do you mean?
You know, sometimes we get pressured, especially when we get to work with veterans or people who've been in the game. We kind of find ourselves under so much pressure that sometimes you overact. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
that's true. I remember when we were at uMbali, um, this other guy, one of the background actors, so Ubabdon, I think he was going to get food. They were like, gosh, we've been seeing you since we still. And he was just there, like, he didn't really know what to say.
You know what I
'cause,
mean?
like,
You know what I mean? Oh, Bob Don, I love that man.
yeah.
Oh, I love it. Like, it comes to uMbali, guys. Like, let's just be honest, guys.
Amazing,
It comes to
amazing.
uMbali.
And we were actually talking about it earlier.
Earlier on,
Amazing,
like,
amazing.
listen,
Talented people.
It comes to uMbali.
Cast, crew, everything.
Oh my, dude, cast, crew, even the writers, yo, guys, the writers. I'm watching uMbali, you know, like currently, I'm watching it and I'm just, cause I remember when we went for a table read, we did like the first 3 episodes, but also at that time, man, I was just sitting and I'm like, yeah, okay, so Gcina, you here now? Oh, yeah, this is you. You know what I mean? And then I remember I read, and then I got home, I read up until episode 13. And then they sent me from 14 to 26. I went crazy. I couldn't stop putting it down. I was like, oh my God. So by the time I got on set, I already had perspectives about Thandile because already when I when I read a character, I was like,
I hope I'm gonna have her here. Amazing,
I
talented
love her.
human being.
I love her. Dude, do you know sometimes like when I see Taz picture like smiling, like I sent her, actually it was last week or 2 days ago. And then she posted this picture and then she was smiling. And I was like, but I can hear you laugh. You know what I mean?
Like you could hear her when you like you're bass, you did like the production. And set is like next door or another place.
You know what I mean?
But you gonna hear her
like,
laughing. You gonna hear her
like, yo,
laughing.
to the cost of uMbali, guys, yo, I love you guys. From the bottom of my heart.
amazing.
Sure. Yo, guys, like
Everyone was amazing. I feel
everyone,
like
even
all
Castro.
of the actors.
Castro. Come on. Castro's an OG, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So,
I've heard the work that he's done.
yeah,
It's
you know what I
amazing.
mean? So we were working like about that age. Guys.
But if I still wish to meet him again, Ace was
Bro, like
amazing.
I swear to you, if I were to meet like the cast of uMbali now, I just want to give them all a hug. Cast and crew, you know. About Put, guys, come on.
Yeah, Putty's gonna come, I think next week, Thursday. But I'm not sure when his episode is gonna come out. So, but yeah.
Dude, I
Putty's gonna
can't.
come.
Yeah, like uMbali. So like for me, man, working with Ubab Don, having to work with Chetnovu, Kaxolile Chabalala, Linda Sokulu. Let me stop name dropping, but having to work with all these people.
But it's hard. When you work with experienced people, you get to learn from them. That's the most
You
important thing.
you get to
You
learn.
get to learn from them.
Oh, Hungani Love. Oh, that guy. Maribong Mtwa. Guys, you know what? You know what?
Let's leave it here.
Yeah.
Excuse me. One prayer that must be answered.
uNkulunkulu wami ngicela ukwenza imali. Wenza imali ngizokhona ibhayidla. Ibhayidla ngizokudla umndeni wami. You know what I mean?
Ukwazi ukusithengela
Isitwadlo, you know.
ube muhle.
My prayer is for the people that I love and hold closely to heal from whatever trauma that they're going through. For them to get every wish and desire that they want. You know. And yeah, man, for everybody to grow, you know. We live in a world whereby sibabelana inhliziyo akunyanzelekanga bafethu. That's the reality. Kunyanzelekanga. I mean, I've even made like yabona mina noma ngangibamba inhliziyo ngizofika la ngiyakhona. Amalanga kafani kodwa sofika la siyakhona.
We need humanity more than idiots.
Yeah, man, there are a lot of humans, but not too much humanity. You know what I mean?
We need
Yeah, and
kindness.
yeah, and to everybody that probably I've hurt or doesn't like me, I'm sorry, man. I really mean it. I'm really, really sorry. You know what I mean? Because sometimes, you know, my last breakup, it taught me a huge lesson. It taught me that a person who doesn't love you teaches you how to love yourself.
True. All the time.
Yeah, well.
All the
So
time.
I just pray we heal. Sibe
all
nemali,
the time.
sibe grandy, si-acting mafethu.
Nah?
Yeah.
And just realize our dreams. So how do people see your work? How do they get in touch with you? Where do they follow you? Socials?
So you can follow me on Instagram at Gcina_Mdikane, and I follow my fan page on Facebook at Gcina Mdikane, because now ilento yam le personal. Igcwele abantu. So people think that I'm really ignoring them, but I'm not ignoring them. You know what I mean? I'm not. It's just that sometimes I don't even have time to be with socials. Busy guys. Siyakhala.
Yeah. So
Siyakhala.
there's no underscore, there's nothing, just
Gcina Mdikane. Utshole Mcebo Dlanga Mathi Mapanika's the leader of the pack. Oh yes.
Oh yeah. So a little game. You sent me quite a few people that you like, you know. So I've got just 3 facts about them, and you're gonna tell me who it is.
Okay.
Yes. Very easy, don't worry. Very easy.
Wanda.
You can chill. So I'm gonna use they and them instead of he or she, just so I can limit clues.
Or pronouns.
They are living their dream life of recording memorable moments and people with their camera.
Wait, international or local?
The people that you gave me, was there an international person there?
Yeah, Mama gave you these people a long time ago.
You don't remember your people. You don't remember your people. Okay, so I'll just give you clues. So camera is a clue.
Clue.
Their camera, meaning they own a camera.
Is that Punch Casella?
No. Yeah. They capture, they record memorable moments and people with their camera. Meaning by a phone, about
Is that Papa? And I gave you these people.
Yeah, I remember, because you were supposed to be one of the first few people. So it was long
Yeah,
ago.
that's why I'm like.
The photographer.
Mm.
Favorite photographer.
Yeah, now I'm trying to think.
I think he's 23 or something.
Litabo.
Yes.
Litabo. Yes. Oh, yeah, cyclist. Yeah. Oh, yes. Oh, young man. Yeah.
So this person, they were born in Midlands, north of Soweto in Johannesburg, in April 1966.
Midlands. 1966.
Pretty old, eh?
Huh?
Pretty old. 76, 86, 96, 2006, 2016. That's like 56?
Is that Bob Don?
Bob Don was not one of you people.
When's that Lumut?
I don't think he's an actor. He once had a TV show of his own. No, I'm mistaken him. He's an actor.
56.
Yes, he's an actor, and he's currently on an ETV.
I know. That's my mentor. That's my dad.
Yes,
That's my dad, Vusukunen.
Yes,
That's my dad, bro. You should have just said your dad, bro.
Nah, if only I knew. If only I
That's
knew.
my pops.
Next time I got it for
That's
when
my
you come
pops.
back. So this last one, they are a composer, singer, and songwriter who was born and grew up in East London.
Can't be Zahara, ne?
No. Did you? No. No.
I can't believe I forgot my own people.
No, but I understand it was a long time ago, because you were supposed to come that first weekend we recorded.
Songwriter. It's not Queries.
No. She's
She's
East London. Yeah, it is she. She's got a very amazing and distinct voice.
Psyche.
Yes.
Psyche.
You got it. You got it.
Psyche.
You got it. You did very well. You did very, very well.
Yeah, so Swina and Pell.
You one day. One day, when we have money,
Yeah.
they need to fund this podcast. So today we had the amazing and talented Mdikane. Thank you so much, Gcina, for coming.
Thank you
Thank
so
you
much,
so
guys.
much. It really means a lot to me. Thank you so much for watching and thank you for listening. Please make sure that you tune in next week Thursday for another episode. This podcast is available on YouTube. Please make sure that you like, subscribe, comment, and share. If you would like to advertise your product or brand, please send us an email. If you would like to be a part of our community and find potential collaborators, do send us an email. The email is mamaforwork@gmail.com, which is MAMMA, the number 4 work@gmail.com. This is uMama Wezizwe, and I hope I'm leaving you with a heart full of art.